Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tuesday morning. For those of you who stayed up late, got to see a fine Monday Night Football game.
I always know when you've tapped out because you go missing on the WhatsApp.
Dude, I
always know when you tapped out.
I didn't plan on it. I was comfortably on the couch. My wife was putting in grades. She wasn't upset with the fact that she was watching football for like the fourth. Normally Monday nights I start getting pushback. Used to.
It's like, are you going to even talk about these teams?
Well, when Dancing with the Stars, which was Monday Night Football for women for a long time, I would have to go into another room. That was must-see viewing in our house. My wife was going to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Your house and 20 million others. That Dance with the Stars was huge.
So now that it's like Tyra Banks and all the originals are gone, she hasn't. So it's a little bit easier for me to watch Monday Night Football.
I think Iman Shumpert is on this year.
Yeah, I heard it.
I think Shumpert's on there, right?
Iman, didn't he deliver to his own child?
Yeah,
not
on
purpose. It ended up at their apartment or something like that. So respect, man. And he can dance. He had good hair. Could deliver children.
Good hair.
He did. He had good hair there for a while. Good hair.
Did. No.
That ain't easy to have that stand up like that.
I'm just a little surprised they would let him on because he was just a random rotation NBA player. It's not like he was an all-star.
You haven't watched Dancing with the Stars. You don't have to have been
they go D-list.
Yeah,
on there.
It is D-list at best.
Yeah.
They had Clyde on, didn't they? Didn't they have Clyde Drexler one year?
Well, Emmett.
Jerry Rice.
Emmett was
Rice.
Emmett won the first one.
Yeah.
Emmett was a winner. Got the mirror ball.
I want to say Clyde literally did the first dance and then came out and did the exact same dance for his second dance.
No,
but kept advancing because he was so popular. And he just basically said, please let me out. I don't want to do this anymore.
So is it fan voting?
It was when Clyde did it, at least.
It's still fan voting.
Well, no wonder Emmett won.
Well, no, you have to get the judge. The judges' scores do matter.
Oh, okay.
Especially at the end. But the votes will get you through.
Was Emmett good? Did you watch Emmett?
Dude, he was pretty good.
He was.
It's always disappointing when you see dudes that you
athletic with two left feet.
And you see him like you got like less rhythm than me. I mean, and that's bad. So it's always kind of disappointing.
I remember Clyde. He was so stiff. Ocho Cinco was pretty good. I think he did it. Ocho was pretty good.
Athletes normally have a leg up, but we digress off the Monday Night Football game. I just fell asleep.
It's all good, man.
Colts,
we get up at 4 in the morning.
No, but I was watching a game that the Colts were when I dozed off. My last waking thought was, wow, the Colts look better than I expected.
Right.
Jonathan Taylor was moving the ball. Wentz was mobile and accurate. I thought the Colts had the game in hand. Well, they were up by 19 in the third, so I think I wasn't alone in that. Yeah. But they poked the bear, and Lamar Jackson woke up and offered a half of football for the ages, set a variety of most personal and NFL records. And we have to kind of evaluate where does Baltimore sit in the AFC's pecking order?
I would say behind Buffalo.
So that high. That kind of comeback put them above.
I mean, when you look at it, I have them a little bit ahead of the Chargers.
That's tall cotton. I mean, we're talking about that's legitimate Super Bowl contender as we said.
A little bit ahead of the Chargers. A little bit. They beat the Chiefs head up. So I got to have them ahead of the Chiefs.
You have 4-1 Chargers, 4-1 Ravens, 4-1 Bills. You got the 3-2 Titans. They're flawed. The Titans have some. I don't trust what the Titans are.
Yeah.
The Bengals, they were the bullet rising, I would think. Lots of 3-2 teams. I guess in the AFC that's legitimate. That when you look at the Bills,
yeah, there's Buffalo, then there's the Ravens, there's the Chargers. Yeah,
the reason I
go in that order
is the reason why the debate will continue as to what is a Lamar Jackson worth.
Like you said, I'm with you. Dak money, bare minimum Dak money, and keep in mind, Dak has way better receivers, the better running back. So,
but Dak needs it, and Lamar doesn't. Quite frankly.
Damn, Rob. So you feel like if Dak, you telling me if they switched roles, Dak wouldn't be able to lead the Ravens to an AFC title game?
No, that team is not built for a Dak. A team is built for Lamar. And you made a good point. The thing with Lamar is I do think he needs to have a higher quality of people around him just because as good as he is, there needs to be you need to have another threat. And right now, I don't think they have another threat, but they have a good enough one in Lamar. He's the ultimate NFL weapon. He is the epitome of where we've been heading.
What do you do?
Right.
What do you do? He's a handful, especially if he's going to throw the ball the way he did last night. I don't know what you do.
You can't give him anything. If you're going to give him the middle of the field, 10 yards up, he's going to dink and dunk you all day. And then when he gets inside the 15, he's going to run around you for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do.
You got to stop fumbling, though. He's looking like Daniel Jones out there. A lot of fumbles.
Those are what I had an old coach that called it a sin of commission. I'd rather have a sin of commission than a sin of omission. I'd rather you do something and make a mistake trying to do something than not do anything and just let something happen. So those are sins of commission. He's trying to get that extra yard. You got to dial that back. But come on, you do have to hold on to the ball.
Right.
But where the NFL has been going, the idea of let's bring this collegiate idea of get the best athlete and ensure that he can throw close enough to the old school quarterback and just go out and play football. That's why Arizona's killing it. They're copying the Baltimore idea. Move this guy around. Use him as a weapon that he is. Now, longevity will continue to be a question until it's not. Until we see a Lamar play for 10 years like every other starting quarterback with nominal injury issues. Then it'll go away. But until then, you're always going to get shorter contract offers because we just don't know.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, Dak is a guy that doesn't want to run. Like, Dak has a McNabb in him. Like, don't put me in that box. Don't put me in the running quarterback box, and he breaks his leg. Lamar runs every other play and has yet to suffer a major injury. Knock on wood. I don't want him to. But, it's crazy how things like that happen.
Let's get everybody caught up with the headlines.
Let's go.
Goals got them accumulated and stacked deep. It's time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady, questionable with a thumb, is expected to play Thursday versus the Eagles as the Buccaneers quarterback suffered the injury on his right throwing hand in the Bucs' 47-17 win over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. He's expected to play through the injury when the team travels for the Philadelphia Eagles Thursday night matchup.
I'd be shocked if he didn't play. It's on his throwing hand, you said, correct?
That's correct. He didn't give specifics on the injury, but it was sustained early in the game before he threw for 5 touchdowns and 411 yards.
Because this is the thing, like the adrenaline's pumping, right? So in the moment, you're good. But, Tuesday, who knows what the thumb looks and feels like? Who knows if you can even grip the football? I'm not a QB, but the thumb is pretty important, right? But, this is Tom. He'll rub something holistic on it.
Yes.
Giselle will rub it down with some good old Brazilian cream. And then he takes the needle on Thursday night.
And he'll
you get out there and you go and beat the Eagles.
What are you insinuating?
What do you mean? What am I insinuating?
What's the needle?
Oh, not HGH. We know he takes that.
About a painkiller.
Allegedly. I'm on air.
Hey, HGH we're all going to be taking it.
Dude, if I had the money,
we're all going to be on it.
If I had the money, I'd have a doctor and I'd be getting a month.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not a bad thing if it's doctor prescribed. But I think he'll take the cortisone shot Thursday.
Oh, absolutely he will. Tom Brady going to play.
He'll play Thursday.
Are you kidding me?
He'll get something to numb him through
or he'll say, y'all got the Eagles.
No.
I'll be back next week.
Tom Brady going to play. And by the time they play the Eagles, he's going to have some reason to absolutely hate Jalen Hurts. I don't know what it's going to come. What's going to be manufactured, but Tom Brady going to come in hard. On the other side of that game on Sunday.
Which one?
It's time for Miami and the Texans to talk. Let's put them in a room, lock the door, and say, figure it out.
You think it's time for this? But Tua's not even playing, Rob.
Yes, he's not. That team desperately needs a quarterback. And I like Tua, I think, but Tua's a poor man's Baker, which ain't saying much. But they have to go get it's on the wall. We all see it. Miami with Deshaun Watson suddenly gets a whole lot better. And the Texans, they're playing for Culley. The only thing that they need now is some talent.
Yeah.
Go get those guys believe in David Culley. For whatever reason, they're playing hard for him. And you got a good half of what Culley can coach you to. But at the end of the day, they just didn't have as much talent as the less than talented New England.
Tom made them look bad.
Yes.
Miami's defense was really good last year. It's just like when you continuously have quarterback issues, it weighs on the defense.
It just wears out
You're
your
like,
team.
you know what, man? Why are we doing all this?
They need Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson needs to lead the Texans, and the Texans need whatever talent haul they can get back.
We're not even talking about them anymore.
No, but now's the time to make the deal. We all see it. Come on, Texans. Come on, Nick Casario. Make the deal, man.
I don't think Goodell wants to suspend him.
No, because there's nothing.
Because they would have done it already.
They would have if they could have, but not until court of law. This is a he said, she said kind of thing until it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to. Somebody's going to have to make the move. Moving on.
Headline 1.
Well, every time the Steelers take a step forward, they take a step back. This time, the Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster will have surgery on his shoulder and is expected to miss 4 months. It was a dislocated shoulder that came Sunday, and he's undergoing surgery later this week that's expected to sideline him, according to Adam Schefter, for a minimum 4 months.
Claypool finally has our breakout game, Rob. We finally get our breakout game from Claypool, and now he loses his protection.
Mm-hmm.
Now Claypool's going to see a lot more double teams. It stinks for the Steelers. I'm a Mike Tomlin fan. Stinks for them. Najee Harris finally has a breakout game. Ben Roethlisberger says, hey, I ain't that old. And then this happens. Like you said it perfectly, Carl. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Again, Juju, he gets on my nerves. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy, but Juju kind of gets on my nerves, but sucks for him. Sucks for Claypool. Sucks for the team as a whole. Because regardless, you have to account for him, right? That's what people used to talk about Danny Green. Danny's a club real, but you got to account for him.
He's a threat.
Juju, while he does more TikToking than he does touchdowning, you have to account for him. And now you don't. Now Claypool's going to be seeing over-the-top help for an entire 60 minutes of the football game. So sucks for the Steelers.
Which Ben Roethlisberger are we going to see for the rest of the season? The one we saw last weekend? Or the one we saw the previous 3 weeks?
Old men, you're going to see one game where he's old, and you're going to see one game where it's like, oh. So I would say it's going to be 60-40 old man.
If we get the 40% young man, they ain't going to miss Juju at all. They're not.
And they draft receivers well. I'm sure there's someone behind Juju that's good.
Najee Harris is a threat.
Yeah.
Claypool is enough to draw a double team anyway. You get somebody on the other side, you're going to be all right as long as Ben is the young Ben. If you get old Ben, it doesn't matter who you got out there. He can't get out of the way of that offensive line.
Touche.
So Ben goes, so do the Steelers. But, yeah, they're trying to change the tires doing 50. And I think that a collapse is going to be required. You know what I mean?
His F1 reference.
The Spurs have been successful at changing the tires doing 50 for 15 years.
Right.
They have been. You had enough pieces around that you could go get things without ever tanking or trying to. You could continue to win and fix things. And Pittsburgh has been experts at that. I mean, think about how long Roethlisberger and the Steelers have been a perennial threat.
Yeah, they draft well.
It's been in the shade of Tom.
Their scouting department is unmatched.
But Ben's been playing at a high level for almost as long. And the Pittsburgh has continued to be there because of Tomlin and his ability. That defense will take him, but it's Ben. And when Ben goes, so does that team. Moving on.
Headline 0.
Ben Simmons surprises the 76ers by reporting to Philadelphia, according to sources. After staying away for 2 weeks at the start of the NBA preseason, 76ers All-Star guard Ben Simmons reported to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia on Monday night, much to the surprise of an organization that had expected him later in the week, sources told ESPN. Fresh off of a flight from Los Angeles, Simmons entered the arena to take a COVID-19 test and start the process of returning to a franchise from which he has requested a trade. What comes next is unclear, but the Sixers are desperate to restart communication with the three-time All-Star who has not had direct conversations with the front office or coach Doc Rivers since a late August meeting in which he reiterated his desire for a trade.
If I'm Daryl Morey, I get a group text going. Me, Doc, Ben, Embiid say we meet in my office at 10 a.m. and we put everything on the table and we say, hey, you know what? Yes, we said some things that we regretted. When after losses, people are emotional. When you say, hell, Lord knows I say things I don't mean when I'm upset, right? Okay. Everybody, Doc said some things he regrets. Joel, hash it all out, put it all out there. And you go from there. You put it all out there, though, but you don't lie to the man's face. Don't come and say, oh, I never meant it. Just say, hey, yeah, man, at the time, this is how I felt. But don't lie to the man. And then y'all say you go forward from there. But you got to get him and Embiid on the same page. They got to be on the same page if this is going to work going forward.
Get your popcorn, man.
Or you say, hey, man, we're actively trying to trade you. Thanks for coming in. I don't know what you do. But him and Embiid have to be on the same page. They can't go into the season hating each other.
This is not going to work out.
You think they still got to trade him?
Yeah, this is not going to go well for Doc. When James Harden reported to camp, that's when things went crazy.
James?
Last year, remember when James reported and he was wearing fat suits and barely practicing and showing up late?
Yeah, that's right. That's when it went.
Just because Ben has showed up to practice don't mean he's going to do much.
This is so he gets paid.
Yes, this is all about this is I'm only here so I don't get fined. We're going Skittles on this.
This isn't a makeup?
No, this
they're
ain't a makeup.
They're going to try and play him, and they're going to hope that he tries to actually play hard. But I kind of envision him shooting some threes, passing to the wrong team.
He don't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. He just wants to get paid. This is the way to stay in the news and become now the fly in the ointment. You're going to have to get rid of me or things are going to get ugly. Especially, Philly fan ain't going to be kind.
I know it's going to be brutal when he gets there. That first game, it's going to be brutal.
It ain't. They're not going to be kind. So a post-game comment on how were you treated
if he plays.
Winning cures it all. And the best spot for him is Philly. You already got a superstar that will carry the burden. You just got to make up where he can. You've already got Embiid to be the bell cow. Now you think you want to be that. You don't. You don't want to be that.
I just don't know if Embiid sitting in the middle staring at him fits Ben's game.
No, it doesn't.
That's the problem.
But he's not going to land with another superstar to carry the load. Wherever he lands, he's going to be the guy. He's going to have to prepare himself for that because to get him is going to cost the star. The only place he lands with
he could have went with Dame.
Is Dame.
But Portland said no.
No, they're not going to give up everything. They're asking for stars. So unless he lands in Portland with Dame, he's going to be the man. And he doesn't have the skill set for that. He is the best Scottie Pippen floating around out there. He'll help. But it's going to – if I'm Rich Paul and I'm Ben, I say you do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. You got to be there at 10, show up at 9:59.
Yeah. He's just like, yo, I'm sure he sat Rich down like, yo, Rich, I love you. I trust you.
I got to get
paid.
But
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose that much money.
You were right yesterday on halftime. He's lost $1 million already, and he has a $8.4 million a check that he was supposed to get, I think, a week ago.
Yeah, it was a week ago.
Escrow that he will now get by reporting. And I think there's another quarter of his contract for this year that's due like next week or November 2nd, somewhere in that range.
To wake up and check your bank app and 8 point something wasn't there hurts.
That'll wake you up in the morning.
You know what I mean? You wake up, you check your account like, man, that 8 wasn't there. Hey, Rich, can I just go in a fat suit? Because I'm not missing another $8 million. I don't care how much money I got. That's generational money. That's for my great grandkids. I'm not missing out on 8.5.
So, show up, do the bare minimum.
Damn, man.
Give a couple of colorful, I don't like it here interviews.
I thought this was kiss and make up. Y'all got me thinking, he just showed up so you don't get fined.
The way I look at the playbook is that it was most successful with Harden. Harden showed up. Yeah. I'm here. I ain't happy. You're going to know it.
He talked to the media and said it's a crazy situation. It's not against Houston. It's just a crazy situation, and I want out.
He basically said John Wall sucks.
Who was that?
I think there's a lot more.
He said John Wall sucks. I'm not playing with that.
I think there's a lot more that goes into the Houston drama that we'll never know because also Mike D'Antoni left to be an assistant. Daryl Morey retired literally to spend 2 weeks with his family before he took the 76ers job. James Harden wanted out. Chris Paul wanted out. Russell Westbrook wanted out. Something's going on behind the scenes in Houston. This has just been Simmons feeling slighted and wanting to be the guy somewhere else.
Gotcha.
Over and done with.
Good stuff, Carl.
Yep, that's good stuff.
That's the 411 and a 210.